What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the news for the Bulls keeps getting worse as we have a Lonzo Ball update to bring to you guys, and this is coming from Woj. Ladies and gentlemen, this news was presented before the Chicago Bulls game, so most people might be aware of this situation, but I kind of want to talk about everything in relation to this and what this could mean for the Chicago Bulls and some of the questions that I have to ask for this front office. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Lonzo Ball. The biggest question in terms of his basketball status is, do you think he will return for the Chicago Bulls this season? That is a very big question because obviously, as we've seen, there is simply no guarantees of either situation actually occurring. So one of us is going to have to be right. If you believe Lonzo Ball returns this season, you might be right. If Lonzo Ball doesn't return this season, you might also be right. So again, it's one of the situations where we're going to have to wait and see, and hopefully the rehab process will be able to be much more clearer in a couple of weeks, months time. But here's the status in terms of what Woj basically said it as. Basically saying the Bulls, Lonzo Ball, there is no guarantees that Lonzo Ball will return to the Chicago Bulls this season. There is still a lot of pain during his rehab process and when he ramps it up. So again, another situation where I think most people have already seen this type of news before. I think Billy Donovan spoke a little bit about this, saying that the rehab process has been slow. But Billy Donovan has also said there has been no communication from the front office or doctors to Billy Donovan about closing out Lonzo Ball for the season and not making him play no matter the status that he's in. Those conversations have not been had at the moment. However, that's also not to say that it won't happen. It seems like the Bulls are very undetermined and the whole situation is very much in the unknown. It's thrown up in the air. Which direction it goes down, no one really knows. But most people already kind of feel this way about Lonzo Ball. They don't know the situation. Most people understand that there is a possibility that Lonzo Ball doesn't play, and there's also a possibility that Lonzo Ball might play. If you're going to ask me for my personal opinion, I'm going to choose to be optimistic and say that Lonzo Ball will return this season. That is just a guess. There is no factual evidence behind that. I think a lot of the news and updates about Lonzo Ball is going against what I have to say, but I'm going to choose to be optimistic in that way because I think Lonzo Ball is going to try very hard to get back on the court as soon as possible, and that's the only reason why I believe it could potentially happen. But the real question is it going to be too little too late for Lonzo Ball? Is he going to come back to an environment that simply cannot be saved? That is the question that I have, and that is why I'm turning into asking the front office a question. Arturas Karnisovas, Mark Eversley, and everybody else making the decisions around the Chicago Bulls, including Billy Donovan, I would say, in this conversation. How long are we going to wait for Lonzo Ball until the Bulls make the decisions and make the trades that needed to be made? How long are we going to wait and hope that Lonzo Ball can save this team? Now, I've been saying it for a while now. Lonzo Ball makes us better. There's no questions about that. No one can really dispute that argument. We've seen what Lonzo Ball can be for this team. But this team currently constructed, the way that it is playing, the confidence levels it has in itself, Lonzo Ball can make us better, but he will not save this team. Lonzo Ball does not make us a championship contender. The way that we are right now, Lonzo Ball does not make us a championship contender. He does not save us from the situation that we are currently in. He will make us better. He will make us maybe see a glimmer of hope in this team once again. The glimmer of hope that most fans want to feel and see. But he will not make us championship contenders. We will not be a team that goes out and competes for a championship the way it's currently constructed. But how long are we going to wait until the Bulls realize that? How long are we going to wait until Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley decides we got to make some changes? Let's be honest. This season, I would love Lonzo Ball to come back. But if we're going to be preaching continuity, what my worst case scenario is, and what I feel like could happen, is that we're going to bring most of these guys back next year, and we're going to try again with Lonzo Ball in the lineup. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's not going to be good enough for this team. We will not be able to accomplish a lot with the same exact team, and then you add Lonzo Ball into the starting point guard spot. Even if it's next year, I just can't see a situation where that's going to be successful, where Bulls fans are going to get behind that as well, and where we're going to be a team that's going to be going out and competing for championships. The way this team is currently constructed, I can't see it happening. But even if he doesn't come back this year, The real question is, are they going to make us wait until next season to make those big moves? Are we going to see something this year? Me personally, we need to see something this year. We do. We've got to focus on what the season right now is put in front of us. And we cannot be calling this season a write-off. Because at the end of the day, there is no benefit towards tanking for this team. There's a very low chance we're going to keep our pick with the Orlando Magic holding it and owning that pick. Very, very rare chance we're going to get that pick back. We might get the Portland lottery pick, and that's not going to be the best, I guess, situation either. We might not be able to get a good player in return there. And what we've already seen, the players that we select don't often actually play on this team. So that's another situation. But I feel like if we're just going to keep on waiting and make this season a write-off, we're only hurting ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. That's it's a big risk with very little reward, in my opinion. So the Bulls have to make trades, have to make decisions, have to make very, very well-educated, well-thought-out moves for this team to be successful this year. Because right now, this season, it's very inconsistent. As I've always said, this team in this season has been extremely inconsistent for the Chicago Bulls. We are 5 games below 500, and I think even that is a very hard mountain to climb. Just 5 games below 500, that's an extremely hard mountain to climb to get back to that 500 level. But if we can't make those trades or we can't make those moves, if there are no decisions being made on this team, we are playing a risky game where this season could potentially be a write-off, where we might not make the play-in, where we might not be a playoff team, and then we're falling into the mediocrity level that the Bulls didn't want to be in. And right now, that's where we are. We are mediocrity. AK, Eversley, all of them said, we will not settle for mediocrity. Well, I'm sorry. You waiting for Lonzo Ball next season or waiting for Lonzo Ball this season before you make any decisions is settling for mediocrity. You're settling for mediocrity in hopes that Lonzo Ball will be able to take us out of mediocrity. And that is something that should not be acceptable by any stretch of the means. And you have to hold the front office accountable for that. But in saying that, I will talk a little bit more about the front office in a different video. I still trust this front office to make decisions, but I just want the decisions to be made quickly. I want the decisions to be made, I guess, not necessarily right now, but I want these decisions to be made this season. I do not want to hold out and make this team play it out this year, because we know exactly where that's going to fall. We know exactly where this team is going to be. And it's just truly something I'm not going to be happy about. I can't sit here and be happy that this Bulls team is going to not trade or not make moves, not make decisions, and wait for Lonzo. I sincerely hope that the Bulls do not decide to do that. And we do go make those tough decisions that maybe some people won't like, but maybe it's the decisions that have to be made. We'll wait and see what the outcome will be. And, maybe we'll start further discussing trades and we'll further start discussing play. Maybe I should make a keep, wave, or trade video. Maybe that's something you guys would like. So let me know in the comments below if you would like that type of video. Again, it's a little bit early. It's not necessarily anywhere near the trade deadline or anything like that. But I feel like it's kind of the emergency time for the Bulls. We need to discuss players that needs to be here, players that need to go. We need to discuss players coming into this team. And I feel like you're going to see a lot of videos about trade targets and certain situations that the Bulls can really, I guess, put themselves in, but time will tell. With all that being said though, I'm going to end this video here. This was kind of a Lonzo Ball update that went to an AK rant in many ways, but it does link together. Lonzo Ball, no guarantees, a lot of unknown, a certain situation where you just can't predict what's going to happen. So if we're going to wait for an outcome to happen with Lonzo Ball, you are risking the season to be a failure for this team. And I do not want to see this team fail, and there's no point in making this team fail. If we're going to tank, we cannot tank with this team, because we will still be a team that's going to probably finish around 12th. We're not going to get into the top 4. We're probably going to be a top 10 at best, and that's not going to be good enough. We won't get our pick. So what's the point in tanking? May as well make the decisions and go out and try to compete for one more year and then wait and see what you can do next year. It's really upsetting that we're talking about this, but maybe again they could turn it around. But this team has shown me too many glimpses of inconsistency. Anytime I get a glimmer of hope, they seem to always let me down. So I'm not going to fall into that trap again until I see, at least, I want to see a very big win streak by this Bulls team. I want to see a 4-5 game win streak like what the New York Knicks are on. I want to see that happen to this team. And then maybe I can go and really believe in what this team can bring to the table. But right now, I'm feeling if we're waiting for Lonzo, we're playing a losing game. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully this video made sense to you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.